welcome to another tank review. This time we are looking at the tier 10 Chinese heavy tank, the 113, i.e. the most underrated tier 10 vehicle in the game. Now what is the 113? To me it's a great combination of armor and speed, with also a pretty good gun that has very good DPM for the alpha damage it has. Let's look into the armor first. On the hull, 120 upper plate, 100 lower. The upper plate is at a great angle. It's at around 65% degrees. Sorry. The lower plate is very flat. It won't bounce anything at any angle, so that is a clear weak spot. The turret, while it may not be a nice 7 turret, it can bounce a lot of shots. As you can see, the weakest on the turret front is around 243 and as you get in the upper zones, it gets around 300, which is really nice. The gun mantlet never hits below 300, which is really nice. The two cupolas, the turret hatches, are an obvious weak spot, but they are not so big as, for instance, the one tumor that the E5 has over here, so they are extremely hard to hit. The side armor 90 with some spaced armor. You can side scrape a lot with this tank. As you can see here, all the way here it's a ricochet zone. Also, another thing to note, this thing gets set on fire rather easily, so a premium fire extinguisher is a must, if I'm honest. And you have to watch out when you come around a corner or a hill, because the turret isn't mounted forward, it's sort of in the middle, so you always have this exposed, which you get tracked and eat a lot of damage, which might also set you on fire. Let's look into the stats as well. We shall compare it to the E5. I will compare it to the E5 because everybody compares this to an E5 and says that it's really weak compared to it. The penetration of the gun worse, but it's not really noticeable, even though it's around 9 millimeters. The alpha damage also not the highest, but very reasonable at 440. And even though this has 40 more alpha damage than the E5, it has also such a good rate of fire that it has an even better DPM. The Vurian standard for a tier 10, 400. The camo value is one of the best for a heavy tank, but I would not recommend putting a camo crew on this tank. The accuracy of the gun also pretty nice, 0.36. The aim time at 2.7 can be a bit of a problem, but I seem to be okay with it. These stats, the turret dispersion, are worse because the tank moves a lot faster than the E5. A gun elevation plus 18, which is nice. The biggest downside to this tank is the gun depression at -4 only, but when you will be grinding to this line, you will have all the 110 and the WZ 11114 also have pretty horrible gun depression, so you will get used to this and you will have to look for those specific points on the map where you can use the turret but have enough gun depression. The power 750, really good since this tank is pretty light for a heavy. The horsepower per ton, also pretty nice at 16.67. The traverse speed of the tank 36, one of the best of the tier 10 heavies. The forward speed also pretty good. Unlike the IS-7, this can be reached even on a flat ground, and the reverse speed is also nice at 15. It would have been better if it had 18 or 20, but it's not bad at 15. The terrain resistance pretty bad. That is why this tank, believe it or not, has a higher power per ton than the 121, the a medium tank of the same nation and tier, but this tank gets completely ruined by this. So a must on this tank is an off-road driving skill on the driver. The health at 2.3k is rather reasonable. As you can see, it's 100 more than the E5. As for equipment, I would put on this, it will have to be improved ventilation, a tank rammer, and a vertical stabilizer, because this tank relies on its gun a lot. Let me put it this way: this tank relies on its gun to make the armor more useful. I say that because if you stay still for longer and you aim for longer, the enemy will have time to shoot you in your weak spot. So you must move as much as possible in this tank. That is its key feature. Anyway, for the consumables, an automatic fire extinguisher is a must, and the repair kit and a med kit are as usual. For crew skills, the usual 6 sense, safe storage, off-road driving for the driver, as I said, and snapshot for the commander. You can also go with brothers in arms, which helps even more with the gun. I think that all of this combined, this is currently my favorite tank in the game, and I do have 2 marks of excellence on it, and I'm on my way to get it a third one. I'm on 92%, I think. Anyway, with that said, I think it's time to get into the game, and here we are in the game. It's a standard battle on highway. I am platooned with my clanmates, like the way you move in the FV215B, and General Foch in the IS-7. Our tactic at the beginning of this match is to counter their 3 mediums, because if they win that flank, I think that the game will be over for us, and since they will come to the city in a couple of minutes after that. There will be RT danger in this game, but since it's only one, we decided that it's worth the risk. Since the 113 is pretty mobile, you will see that it will come into a great effect. Now I do spot the T-49 and put a side shot in it. You saw what the mobility did there. I mean, if no other tier 10 heavy, I would have been able to done this, maybe in a 50B, but I would have been raped because that doesn't have any armor. The T-71 got my flank, but it's only a T-71, so 100 health doesn't make much difference at this point. Now what you gonna see me do here might see a bit stupid, because there are tanks in front of me and I'm not shooting them, but I really do want to clear the right side, and that would mean that I would have a clear flank. My platoon mate takes out the Leopard, which is great news. So, and that means that I can now stay held down and clear and try to pull this flank as well. On ST1, that was a really unlucky shot, because I did hit his weak spot, but somehow it did not penetrate. I do manage to hit a Patton's weak spot, both the E75 bounce on my upper plate, since it is well angled. Another unlucky bounce, if I'm honest. Both of those should have been, but they didn't. Usually I don't have problem with that. I do manage to put one more shot into the Patton's turret hatch. Now, there I should have focused down the ST1, if I'm honest, but it wasn't a bad shot, really, just it could have been better. I see that the Patton is making a bad play. He fall back and I shot the object in the side. I do have shots on the side of the turret of the Patton, and that's a really easy kill. The FV does some great work. You can really appreciate the gun of this tank. I mean, it's not derpy, not at all, as you saw there. A clear shot on the E75. Now I do focus down this object, since he has a monstrous DPM, and I decide to move as much as I can, so I won't get focused down by RD. That was kind of unlucky. I mean, if it went a couple of centimeters lower, it would have penetrated his lower plate, but that's that. Now I know that his aim time is forward, so I do have time to aim. I shot him and he shot the ground. Since you saw that explosion, so that means that he was firing hash. I do make a very big mistake and gave my flank to the E75. That is why I'm now trying to fall back. I don't aim the shot because I know that he will be reloaded, and I don't want 8,000 damage taken away. An LTB kills my body in the FV. I do manage to shoot him once. He's on very low health. D75 also a big threat, and that is why I am focusing him down and not the LTB. Luckily the E75 misses, and I decide, screw the LTB, he is a much greater threat. The LTB can get 1 or 2 shots in, and that would be that for him. Now the LTB knows that he can't run. He just, I don't know, just trying to maybe spare some time. I don't know. Now I will try to get one more kill for my buddy in the FB. He was on a mission. He needed 7 kills, and sadly I won't be able to get any. I don't know why my team acted in a such manner. I mean, my platoon clearly carried this game, but I don't know. Uh, in that game, you saw what the a well-coordinated platoon can do. Anyway, enough of the game. Let's look into the post-game results. And this is the post-game results of that game. In that game, I got my second marks of excellence for this tank. Obviously, ace tanker, a lot of tokens, steel wall, and high caliber for the amounts of damage I did. As we look into the team, we can see that we finished top on damage and experience with 1260 base experience, 5400 damage done with 4 kills. In that game we fired 20 shots, 18 hit and 15 penetrated. We weren't sniping at all, so we have no damage done of more than 300 meters. We did receive 14 hits, 6 penetrated. Mind you that some penetrated into the tracks and did no damage. 8 were ricochet, were ricocheted off us. We blocked 2.5k with our armor. We damaged 9 enemies, 4 of which we destroyed, and 2.2k damage were assisted by us. You can also see that my platoon mates, like the way you move, also had a very good game in the FV215B. His armor held up even more, but he was kind of unlucky that he was focused down by the enemy arty. Also, General Foch also did a very good job, but he was unlucky since the arty was determined to kill him first. Anyway, guys, that was my review of the 113. Hope you enjoy it, and bye for now.